In this series on marketing your scenarios, we've covered everything from running your scenarios at conventions to recruiting cheerleaders and offering discounts and bundling your scenario. We've covered the easy stuff. If we want sales numbers to keep going up, we're going to need to roll up those sleeves and do some work. Greetings Miskatonic Repository, Heinrich Moore here, with the third in our series of videos on marketing your Call of Cthulhu scenarios on DriveThruRPG. Today's marketing techniques all share one thing in common. They take some hard work. We'll be discussing reviews, actual play videos, and joining the community. First, and seemingly the easiest one, reviews. There are many reviewers out there. Pookie, Rolling Boxcars, Seth Skokowski. I'll include a list of many of these reviewers in the doobly-doo. But why are reviews so hard? Well, it's because of the pitch. Oh yes, you have to reach out to these reviewers. You have to ask them to review your product. They're not spending their time looking for the next big thing. Well, maybe some of them are, but many are just waiting to be asked. Of course, you've got to make yourself persuasive. You need to tailor your pitch to them. Why do they want to review your product? Maybe you think your scenario is amazing. Maybe you don't. But why would this reviewer want to review this scenario? So, what do? Look at what else they've reviewed. Describe your scenario in a way that appeals to what they enjoy in games. Offer to run the scenario for them. And after you ask, usually over email, don't bother them again. You may need to wait weeks, months, or even more than a year for a response. And that's if they decide to review your scenario. Of course, you can always just run and record the scenario yourself. Actual plays are our second topic. Nowadays, there are many free tools like OBS Studio that let you record an actual play of your scenario. Make sure to play with friends who don't mind being recorded and who are going to show off your scenario in the best light possible. Remember, you're playing because it's fun, but this is also for marketing, so keep that in mind. Post your actual play on YouTube, Facebook, or wherever folks can see it. It can be a video or just audio. You can leave it unedited or just do a highlights reel. Then link the video in your drive-thru scenario description. You can see an example of that for my own scenario, The Great Trap. Now, let's be realistic. Are lots of people going to watch your whole video? No. For The Great Trap, which I've linked on the DriveThruRPG scenario description, the first part of the video, lots of views. The second and third parts, not so many. Folks are probably just going to click through your video, which is why a highlights reel may be the way to go. The important thing, though, is that folks see the effort and the confidence you demonstrated in posting a video that shows a run-through of your scenario. You're literally putting it all out there. Ideally, of course, people will want to watch your video, but as we talked about in an earlier marketing video, if people want to watch your video, they're probably already going to buy your scenario anyway. You can improve distribution and viewer count by working with an existing group that produces actual plays. Some examples include the Into the Darkness podcast and YouTube channel, Skype of Cthulhu, or the team most focused on highlighting MR content, the Miskatonic Playhouse. These and other groups you'll find in the doobly-doo. Usually, all it takes is reaching out to them and asking if they have a submission process, or if they'd be interested in having you run a game for them. But remember, all the tips for reaching out to reviewers also apply here. You'll want to do a bit of research of the kind of content their channel or podcast creates, and what about your scenario is going to be attractive to them. Don't forget, this is a symbiotic relationship. You want to feature your scenario through their channel to get more views, but they want to feature quality content so that those views will generate more views in turn. The third marketing tip we'll talk about today is join the community. Get involved. If you invest in the community, it'll pay you dividends. Provide editing, brainstorming and playtesting services. Chat and exchange information on the Discords like the MRCon Discord. Help organize projects or bundles. Become a known individual in the Miskatonic repository community so that when you announce a new scenario, folks already know who you are. A great example of this is Nick Brook. Sure, he's a Chaosium community ambassador, but he's also responsible for creating the Miskatonic repository Catalogue, a publication that for many years tracked all the scenarios available on the MR by time, period, author, price. Link to that catalog is also below. Another example is Evan Perlman, one of the organizers for Miskatonic Repository Con. My friendship with him started years ago, and all because he organized a bundle of investigator occupation backgrounds. He has since organized 2 volumes of Hometown Horrors, a Royal Navy Regency expansion guide, and much more. In helping folks, you are expanding your network and notoriety. Also, you're showing folks what you're capable of. They'll want to pick up your scenario not just because you've done them a favor and they want to support you, but because they know you are providing value. And you can bet they're going to tell their friends. There's a lot more that can be said on each of these, but hopefully this has given you some ideas for how you can leverage reviewers, actual plays, and the community to help promote your product. As you can tell, none of these are easy or quick solutions, but they are effective. So, what do you think? Have you tried any of these? Let us know in the comments. I hope you'll join us again for part 4 of our marketing series. For our last video, we're going to get weird. We're going to talk about gimmicks. Until then, stay tuned for more.